Did you know that your flowers are actually talking, obviously not with words, but with their colors to pollinators? Bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, even moths respond to flowers differently based on their colors. So in this video, what I want to do is show you all how planting the correct colors in your garden will bring your gardens to life naturally. Because in this video, I want to give you all an extra leg up on your gardens by planting the right flowers, or let's put it this way, the right colors in your gardens. And now is the time to prepare, since you're already probably starting seeds, right? Flowers did not just get colorful for looks. Over thousands of years, plants evolved colors that match the vision, behavior, and feeding habits of different pollinators. Color helps pollinators in these three ways: find the flowers quicker, decide what type of nectar is going to be in those flowers, and decide if that flower is even worth visiting. So let's break down the colors even more. Okay, so let's start out with yellow and blue flowers. Bees are attracted to these two colors more than any other color in the spectrum. Now here's why. Yellow really stands out in a garden. If you think about it, everything is normally green, right? And then you got those pops of yellow flowers. The bees can see the yellow from ever away, and it draws them straight in. So pollen, which is yellow, is associated with the color yellow. So bees know that when they see a yellow flower, they're automatically drawn because they also know more than likely there's going to be a lot of pollen, and that's what they need. Many yellow flowers also have nectar guides that bees can see, but we can't. Here are a few examples of yellow flowers that bees are attracted to: sunflowers, squash blossoms, blue salvia, and lavender. Now those last two are in the blue spectrum, but blue is also a color that bees are attracted to. Now let's think about this. When you have, let's say, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, other types of vegetables that have yellow flowers when they bloom, think about that. Those plants have evolved to have yellow flowers to bring in the bees to help pollinate those flowers. So if you want more bees, plant yellow flowers in clusters, which will attract the bees to that area. Okay, now let's talk about red and orange flowers, because those attract hummingbirds. And who doesn't like to see hummingbirds in your gardens, right? Now, red and orange are highly visible colors from pretty much anywhere, and hummingbirds actually hunt or are attracted to flowers more based on their color than on their scent. Having red or orange flowers in your garden is going to attract the hummingbirds that you want, because they will also be able to help pollinate a lot of other types of not only flowers, but vegetables. The flowers that are best for hummingbirds, obviously, are tube-shaped flowers like these right here that I'm showing. These are a pineapple sage plant, and as you can see how these flowers are, those are perfect for hummingbirds to get their long sticky tongues in, pollinate those flowers, and continue moving on. A few favorite plants would be trumpet vines, red salvia, bee balm, and coral honeysuckle. Y'all, any kind of honeysuckle is probably going to bring in hummingbirds. Let's be real. Think of red flowers for hummingbirds like a neon sign saying, hey, come this way. If you think about it, hummingbird feeders always usually have red on them. Even though the feed inside, the sugary water inside, for the most part, don't have dyes in them anymore, there's still usually a red bottom or a red glass on hummingbird feeders. It's for a reason. Hummingbirds like the color red. Okay, so let's move on to pink and purple flowers, which are the favorite of butterflies. Butterflies see these colors for these three reasons right here. Colors often signal abundant nectar. They're easy for the butterflies to spot while they're flying. And these flowers usually provide a flat landing area for the butterflies. You can see right here, I have these zinnias growing. And if you imagine yourself being a butterfly, you could totally tell how easy these flowers would be for them to land on and feed from. A few favorite flowers of butterflies are zinnias, which I just showed, cone flowers, and lantanas, which I have right back here. Butterflies, as you know, when they're flying around, are never in a rush. So plant your flowers to allow them to be able to linger around in your garden. Let's talk about white and pale colored flowers. Now, moths are attracted to those colored flowers, and you might be thinking, well, moths, why do you want them? They pollinate at night. And 3 of the reasons that you want to plant white and pale colored flowers for the moths are these right here. 1, white and pale colored flowers illuminate at night when the moon is out. So it helps the moths find those flowers. 2, those colored flowers normally have a lot of nectar in them, which again is going to attract the moths to them. And 3, a lot of those colored flowers bloom actually at night. So if you want to give your nighttime pollinators their just desserts and allow them to help the ecosystem in your garden, plant white or pale colored flowers. A great example of this would be the moonflower. I have actually grown these here, and I'm going to grow them again this coming year. They get about the size of a dinner plate. They are an absolutely beautiful white flower, and again, they open up and they bloom at night, which is perfect for those nighttime pollinators. Okay, so here's the key to everything. Plant a lot of different colored flowers to help bring in a lot of different types of pollinators. You want your pollinators to have a place, a guide, a food source in your garden. That's going to help the pollinators, and of course, it's going to help your garden. So here are a few additional reasons of why you want to plant a lot of different colored flowers in your garden. 1, you're supporting more pollinator species. 2, better pollination means better harvests. 3, your garden becomes healthier and more resilient. And 4, honestly, it just looks incredible. Okay, so I got to give a bonus tip. Now, this next pollinator isn't one that most people would typically think about when it comes to pollinators, but let's be real, they're in the world, they do a great job for what they need to do. So let's talk about bats, y'all. Now, just like the moth, bats are normally a nighttime pollinator. They're much bigger, faster, stronger. Of course, there are the bats that eat the insects and the vampire bat and wherever that's from, but let's be real, more than likely, if you're going to be dealing with bats, you're going to be dealing with either the ones that eat the insects or fruit bats. So we're specifically talking about fruit bats right here. You might be thinking to yourself, well, what color of whatever attracts bats? Y'all ready for this? All right. White, cream, pale green, and light yellow. Again, the reasons that those colors attract bats, basically the same reason that moths are attracted to those colors. They're easy to see at night, and they're highly reflective in the moonlight. A few flower traits that bats love. Large open flowers, makes it easy for them to get in there. Strong musky or fruity scents when flowers bloom at night. High nectar production and sturdy flowers that allow a good solid landing base for the bats. Plants commonly pollinated by fruit bats. Bananas, mangoes, guava, papaya, agave, and durian is the most famous example of a fruit that bats pollinate. And let's keep it real, y'all. Without bats, many tropical fruits just wouldn't get pollinated. Bats are an incredibly, incredibly important pollinator across the world. Maybe not in your backyard, but across the world. So let me know in the comments, what is the most surprising pollinator or color flower pollinator combination that you've learned so far in this video? Drop it down in the comments. Okay, y'all, a few practical tips. Don't or try to avoid using pesticides. Plant your flowers in clusters if you can. Mix colors throughout the garden, and do what I do, especially with like basil. Let a lot of your herbs or other types of plants bolt and go to flower. Those will just help increase the pollinator population in your garden. All right, everyone, so in wrapping this video up, remember, flowers are talking, pollinators are listening, and now you know what they're saying to each other. If y'all enjoyed this video, if you got anything out, if you learned anything at all, do me the 5 favors. Share, like, comment, hype, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already, and join this fast-growing community of like-minded gardeners here on YouTube. Everyone take care. May God continue to bless each and every one of you. Plant your flowers now, knowing what they're going to be saying to the pollinators in your area. I'll talk to y'all again real soon. Bye.